I am so sick of this. Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell, two career politicians, the heads of their respective parties, are all acting like spoiled little children. Too stuck in their ways, refusing to make any compromise. We need to put aside politics, left versus right. None of that really matters. It is time to vote out many of these career politicians that are the epitome of the swamp. Most of them have been in DC for 30, 40, 50 plus years? And yet they've never really fixed anything. They've only made the problems worse. The SBA EIDL grant program ran out of money back in July, and Congress has spent the past few months just bickering back and forth rather than making any serious attempts at addressing the actual problems. And don't get me started on the incompetence of the SBA administrator, Jovita Carranza, a subject that I have covered in great detail in many of my previous videos. The links will be down in the description and up in the card above. In the absence of any progress from DC, many private businesses and even a few celebrities have teamed up to offer business grants up to $50,000. Information on that grant, updated EIDL news, and a possible new stimulus package. All this and more in today's video. Hello and welcome to the Stephen Carlson Show. I'm Stephen Carlson. I'm a tech entrepreneur, real estate investor, author, YouTuber, and volunteer paramedic. Every day I read comments from you guys that you leave on my videos, including some very sad stories of small, family-run businesses on the verge of total collapse because DC has been just screwing around for months. Senator Schumer, speaking with small business owners, spoke about an extended new version of the Paycheck Protection Program, which he calls Schumer's P4, or Prioritized Paycheck Protection Program, and is one part of a two-pronged approach that he says is vital for businesses, saying, quote, "The EIDL program gives additional advance grants and loans just straight out, and we're asking for $180 billion for that. $100 billion for loans and $80 billion for grants," end quote. But Schumer does acknowledge that there is total gridlock in DC on both sides, and this could prevent the passage of this measure. Personally, I'm really hopeful that the Democrats and Republicans can just work out their differences and pass an updated EIDL and PPP stimulus program before the November elections. But honestly, I'm not very confident. Currently, this is being held up because neither side is willing to cave on some of their core demands. Democrats want billions of dollars for state and local governments, and Republicans want that to be part of a separate bill because they don't support that part at all. Now, there are, of course, a few other sticking points, but honestly, most of it's just total BS from both sides. And neither side is willing to put aside their political talking points because they know that will not help them politically. Now, if instead the politicians would just take the issues item by item instead of trying to wrap everything into a massive spending bill, I think some things would be accomplished. Because both sides support PPP, both sides support EIDL. There are some promising bills on the table right now, but with all these deadlocks, I really doubt it's going to be done before the election. The bipartisan Ensuring Increased Disaster Loans, that's a new version of EIDL, for Small Businesses Act, which is S.4227, would provide $100 billion in appropriations for EIDL, provide $80 billion in appropriations for EIDL Advance, that's the $10,000 grant for all businesses, would prohibit the Small Business Administrator from placing any maximum caps below the $2 million on the EIDL loans, which have a maximum loan amount of $2 million as established by the CARES Act months ago. Under this new bill, all eligible small businesses shall receive EIDL funding in the amount calculated using the SBA's current EIDL formula up to the $2 million. The key is shall receive. That means you will get it. Prohibit the SBA administrator from placing any limitations on the EIDL Advance. Under this new bill, all eligible small businesses shall receive, there's that shall again, shall receive the full $10,000 grant provided by the CARES Act. None of this $1,000 per employee BS that Carranza started. It would also require EIDL Advance grants to be dispersed to eligible small businesses within 3 days of the request and not be contingent upon the approval of the EIDL loan, which means if you don't want the loan, you can still get the grant using this new law.
But let us Before I read this to you, let this sink in. We fought like hell through 85 videos with other channels. NAA, LA Late, Aubrey Janik, Andrew Cartwright, The Stephen Carlson Show, Rod Squad, Speak and See. You know who they are. We need all their help right here, right now. Dan Over and I allegedly. Right here, right now, we got to get on the same page because what I'm about to read to you totally changes the game. It puts us at least on the 2-inch yard line. Schumer's P4, or Prioritized Paycheck Protection Program, is one part of a two-pronged approach. I wonder what the second prong is. I wonder. What do you think it might be, ladies and gentlemen? What could possibly be on Schumer's mind in terms of the second-pronged approach with this next corona stimulus package? It's only one of two-part approach that he says is vital for small business, and I quote, and are you sitting down? Are you sitting down? I want you to take in every single word, and you can listen to the audio clip, which again I'll pin. Quote, the second part is what we call EIDL. That's one of the first times you've ever heard Schumer mention EIDL in the last several weeks and months. And you've never heard him say the following. The EIDL program gives an additional advance grants and loans just straight out. And we're asking, are you ready? And we're asking for $180 billion of that. $100 billion for loans and $80 billion for grants. I just got chills.
We need to force our representatives, and it doesn't matter if it's Republican or Democrat. We need to force them to put all their BS aside and get us the support that we need. But like I said, honestly, I really doubt this will happen before the elections. I'd love to be proven wrong, but I doubt it. So until then, what are small business owners supposed to do? Now, before I get to the new grant that I mentioned in the title of this video, if this information has been helpful for you, please share this video with your friends. Paste it all over your social media accounts. Get the word out and put more pressure on DC to do something about this now. A few of my visitors have reached out and suggested that I check out the Business for All grants. So I jumped over to their website where they state their goal is to unite with a collective voice, ensuring business owners have access to funding, advocacy, and networks needed to succeed. Led by Hello Alice, with the support of Verizon, Silicon Valley Bank, eBay, and small business owners and advocates across America. Business for All provides $10,000 to $50,000 grants, expert mentorship, and a strong community and comprehensive suite of small business resources. Whew! Wow, that was, well, interesting. Anyways, it sounds great. So I dug into this a little more and, well, sorry to say, it's pretty much all just marketing fluff. This is how the grant system breaks down. There'll be one grant winner who will receive $50,000 grant, 2 runners-up that will each receive $25,000 grants, and then there'll be 12 finalists, which will each receive $10,000 business grants. There'll also be an additional category where any business or entrepreneur support service can receive up to $10,000 grant, and they're giving 3 of those away. So honestly, the maximum grant amount of money that's going out is $250,000 split over 18 businesses. Additionally, they're requiring that 11 out of those 15 grants go to new majority, I think they meant minority, owned businesses, including women, people of color, LGBTQ plus entrepreneurs, military-connected business owners, and entrepreneurs with disabilities. And they will score you based upon your degree of positive impact through your business. Hey, you know, that's good and all, and I love businesses that have a positive impact upon their community. But honestly, the businesses that need help now are the local restaurants, barbershops, part-time landlords that provide clean, affordable housing, and so many other small family-owned business establishments. And you can bet your bottom dollar that when this grant program has rich celebrity endorsements as part of their selection committee, a small family-owned restaurant that employs a dozen local residents will most likely not be deemed as worthy enough to these rich Hollywood elites. Hey, I guess there's no harm in applying for this application if it's short. You can check it out on their website. I'll put the link down below. Honestly, I don't really think it's going to help you that much. But I still felt it was important to tell you guys about this because multiple people have been asking me about this in emails. And they were saying, hey, this great program. And I really just want you guys to have the facts about it. It's not a bad program. It's just not a really great program. Shout out to Jason and his awesome coverage, and thanks for mentioning me in his show. I also agree that we all need to stand up and fight together as a unified front. Thank you very much for watching. Please make sure you click like and subscribe. Doing so really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks, and I'll see you on the next one.